So, good evening, everybody. A huge shout out to everybody who is listening on the Acts on This TV audio experience on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher. Maybe you're watching the replay on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here on the replay. Do come and join us live every Monday night, 9 till 10 p.m. on facebook.com/Acts on This TV. We always have a great time for the 60 minutes that we're on here. Sometimes it goes a little bit longer. We ultimately chew the fat on the acting industry. It might be a personal development session. Ultimately, whatever we do on these sessions is going to help you get much further, much faster in your career. Shout out to everyone who's joining us live right now. Those on the replay, listen to how many people are here and you're missing out. We've got Brendan, we've got Ollie, we've got Dawn, Samantha's just joined, Alma, Lucy, Lynn, Janet, Sandy Jack's in the house. All right, mates. Francisco's here. Great to see you. Sandra is here. Joe's here. Patrick's here. Lucy's here. Alexis is here. Ruben, Shannon, Steve, Alex, Fiona. It's not even letting me scroll up anymore. There's that many people have joined. Corinne, Donna Louise is here. Linda. Honestly, thank you so much for being here. It blows my mind that you lot actually choose to spend this time with me on a Monday night. Hugely grateful. So tonight we're going to be looking at a few things. You know what? I've had a weird day today. Don't want to bring the energy down, right? I'm not going to do that. But I'm all about being authentic with you lot. I've had a really hugely challenging day. And it's just like, again, it's just given me a huge kick about my mortality, self-awareness. Got a phone call today from an old drama school friend. We've kind of kept on touch on Facebook. I did my dissertation in 2005. We did a comedy sketch show with two girls I went to drama school with at Manchester Met, the School of Theatre there. Got a call off one of them today, and you pick up the phone when you see somebody's name on the end of the phone you've not seen in a while. And I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going? Thinking, maybe something cool's going on, or they just want to catch up. This person's in tears on the end of the phone. Our other friend, who was only 38 years old, just 1 year older than me, didn't wake up this morning. And I was just like, it's just giving me shivers down my spine then, just saying that. Like, such a shock and such a massive smack in the face of mortality again, and it just, everything we talk about on these broadcasts, it just hits home time and time again. I just sat on the settee before, just for an hour, just contemplating life and ultimately what we're doing here and whether everything I'm doing is making the impact I want it to have, or whether it's, what am I doing? Ultimately, I was asking myself, right, let's just take stock again in my life. What am I doing right now? Is it what I want to do? When I get up in the morning and if I ask myself, are you doing today, if you could do anything in the world, is this what you would want to be doing? And if the answer is yes, keep doing it. If it's no, because sometimes it's going to always be no, right? You cannot do everything you want to do every single day you wake up. But for me, if it's no, every day for a month, then something massively has to change. If it's no for a couple of days, then, that's just life, isn't it? But it just made me just think, wow, life is short, really short. And can we please as well, those who are members of Acts on This will know one of my best mates, Eric James Dean, who, an incredible guy, actor in the community, supported this site, supported everything that I've done with Acts on This for years. He was taken into hospital a couple of weeks ago. He got released, was going to get released from hospital, fell very poorly again, luckily while he was in hospital. Came out at the weekend just gone, and right now, he's back in hospital in a really serious way. So if you can just send as much positivity into the world as possible. Try not to get emotional. But yeah, it's just made me very much aware that life is just massively short. So I just hope everybody this week, myself included, just goes after what they want and stops. Just gets. I put a tweet out before going, so many actors will create more barriers for themselves than this industry ever will. I just really think that's true. I just see that around me a lot. People who are just not asking for what they want from life. So we'll pick the energy back up. Oh God. And we'll get all, super optimistic again, but it's challenging, man. It's difficult. So yeah, I hope that kind of resonates with you. And if people know Eric, such an awesome guy, just, fingers crossed he's going to be okay. But yeah, that's been the day. But tonight we're going to be looking at a podcast that I put out today on a very positive note, with a fantastic director called Jason Wingard. Now, I don't know if you guys have been watching it. Put a vlog out this morning. I put a podcast out. All about the opportunities that are available. And again, this is not allowing excuses, not getting in your own way, not allowing those limiting beliefs you have in your life, whether it's about creating your own content, to rule you. And I've been hugely bullish on actors creating their own content over the last 3 weeks. Had many people in the industry on, actors particularly, who have started creating their own work. And I'm massive on this, not sitting around waiting for the phone to ring, waiting for your agent to phone you, and ultimately just getting down, on yourself and about your career. I'm like, listen, pick up a camera, go and make your own things. It doesn't have to be, super Hollywood budget, kind of production values. But I feel myself so much more fulfilled when I'm creating. Now, I've had a lot of emails from people who are like, right, I feel so inspired and motivated. I'm ready to create. But equally, on the flip side, I've had a lot of emails from people who aren't ready to create. They're like, look, I know I should be doing this, but I still don't feel ready. So I wanted to do this podcast with Jason, because Jason Wingard is, without a doubt, he's one of the most generous directors I have ever worked with. Well, I've not actually worked with him, I've worked with him in terms of creating features for Acts on This. I would love to work with him. But he's a guy who is working right at the top of independent film, as in, like, this guy has cinema releases. I don't know if anyone saw Eaten by Lions. Stars some incredible people. It was out in the cinemas this April. It had Jack Carroll in it. It had Asim Chowdhury, so funny. The Asian dude from People Just Do Nothing. One of the most hilarious actors I've seen in such a long time. I had him in it. I had Johnny Vegas in it. And Jason is doing a brand new film right now called Pavement, which stars Steve Everts. I brought him round. We did a podcast all about ultimately getting involved with Jason's work, and how you as actors, if you're not ready to create your own stuff, can get involved with Jason. So I'm going to play that vlog in a minute, but give me some feedback if anybody's seen it, and let me know what you thought, or if you've heard the podcast. Sharon's here, Iman's here, Joe's here. Corinne says, enjoying being a member of the community. Listened to 2 podcasts already and learned loads. Nice one, Corinne. Glad you're enjoying it. And for those who don't have a clue what Acts on This, if you join the mailing list and you've just got this email from me, and you find yourself here, actsonthis.tv is a website that I've been running for the last 8 years for actors. Ultimately sitting down with the greatest minds in the industry, casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers, and asking them how we as actors can have more success. George and Neath in the house. Hello. God, so many comments. Finally catching my first broadcast of Georgia. Nice one. Thanks for being here. Sharon Wins in the house. Says, we're grateful for you. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Mikey. Sorry for your loss. It's just been one of those days. It's not, I don't want to get down. I'm so practical. I don't dwell. I've just learned in life through loss and through other things that have happened. Dwelling on anything that you cannot control is absolutely utterly pointless. It really is. So I don't. It's like us being really sad for other people in these situations. It's kind of like it's just it compounds the issue, doesn't it? If I'm when I'm 100, right, when it's my time to go, in how many years would that be? 63 years. Don't want people to be really, really sad. I just don't. It doesn't do anybody any good. It's a really emotional thing, though. And today's been challenging, but it's as I say, that the takeaway is, let's not be sad about this. The takeaway I want everyone to take away, and why I shared that tonight, is to look at your own life, look at your own mortality, and just go, right, what am I doing? Am I letting stupid things? Remember when I came on a broadcast a couple of weeks ago and I said, God, you know what? I've had a right nightmare today. My washing machine's leaked everywhere. Who gives a shit? In the grand scheme of things, I tend to live by this thing. If it's not going to matter in 5 weeks, 5 months, or 5 years, don't waste 5 minutes worrying about it. But we're all human, and sometimes that shit kind of, can just get to you, can't it? But it's like, I don't want people to get down about this. I don't want to bring the energy down tonight. It's just about going, if you were to go this week, can you go saying you gave it everything? Have you got any fuel left in your tank? Are you holding it all back because you're afraid of some bullshit about what some casting director might think of you, what some agent might say to you or reject you, what people might think of that scene you filmed and you really like, but you're afraid to put out in case someone says it's shit? Who cares? The reality is you are going to die. That's what I realized again today. It's coming to us all, and this industry can really screw you up and make you afraid of doing anything, because ultimately the thing you are selling is you. In any other industry, not the acting industry, if you were creating any other product, no one really cares. You can just blame the products and go, okay, I baked that cake, yeah, it wasn't that nice, actually. It didn't add enough sort of salt or sugar or, baking powder. It didn't rise quite well. and people aren't worried about that. They'll put all that kind of stuff out there online and they'll try and start businesses up. But when it's you that's the product, that's where all that fear creeps in. And fear stands for false evidence appearing real, doesn't it? It's all nonsense, and we can just we can really get in our own way when it comes to that. Sam says, real talk, life is short. It is, isn't it? Sorry for your friends, sending love, massive thanks for trying to help us all. It's just like, it is short, Sam, innit? And you've just got to, it's difficult, innit? It's not to say, like, when people say live every day like it's your last, I think that's really bad advice. Because if it was my last day today, I don't know what I'd be doing. I would probably be running around, crying, going absolute spare, I think you just have to live as if tomorrow is going to happen. But also not dwell on the past. I think that's what cripples people in the present, is dwelling on the past, fearing the future. Thus, you leave this place having never lived because you've never really been present. It's just as I get older, I'm just learning more and more about this. So Ollie Reynolds has just joined. How are you doing, Ollie? Caitlin's here. So sorry to hear about it's sad, Caitlin, but yeah, let's focus on everything we can control tonight. I think it's important. Having lost parents and 2 younger brothers, says Kevin, it's a life-changing experience and not all bringing energy down, but about going through the process and understanding that change, like the change life challenges brings. It makes you understand life. And Shakespeare said so much more profoundly. There you go. Mark Joseph in the house. Richard Haler all the way from the Miami in the house, or Florida. I don't know where you are these days, Rich. Or maybe you're in the UK. You came back to the UK for a little bit, didn't you? Hopefully you're still here, mate, and we can catch up before you go back. So yeah, what I want to play for you now, if it's cool with you, and I know some of you might have seen this already. Not that many people, though, because I only put it out today. I recorded a vlog, like behind-the-scenes video, basically, of me recording this podcast with Jason Wingard, this incredible director. He's currently in the middle, at the very end of actually creating this new film, Pavement. It's a brand new film that he's brought out. He's crowdfunding for it. The crowdfund is still open for a few more days. Search for Pavement on Indiegogo.com if you want to support the cause. He'd be so appreciative of even just a couple of quid. It's an incredibly thought-provoking film around homelessness, and you're going to hear all about it within this vlog. You're also going to hear about how Jason kind of looks for actors. He's a guy who just gives actors their first chance, and he's a guy who's not doing piddling little films. These are big films that are going into cinemas that are starring very well-known people, yet he's still very open to giving people their first chance if they are good enough. And he talks in the full podcast. If you want to get hold of the full podcast, atsonthis.tv, go to the website, click on what's new here at the top, and you'll see it here. It says booking roles in the best independent films with director Jason Wingard. If you're not a member, there's a 15-minute preview of it there. You're going to hear more of that podcast in the in this vlog I'm going to play for you now as well. But the whole chat's an hour and a half, so you're going to miss out on loads if you don't listen to the whole thing. But he talks about how he likes to work with the top 20% of actors. Now, that doesn't mean the top 20% in the world. It means, in his eyes, who are good enough to be in his top 20%. And that's subjective. If you are brand new to the industry, it does not mean that you cannot be in Jason's top 20%. But it's understanding what he looks for and what he actually demands and needs from an actor that will get you there. So we talk about that. And we also talk about, and I'm definitely going to do this, running a workshop. I want to run a workshop for premium members of atsonthis.tv with Jason. It will be as free as possible. We might have to chip in a few quid to just get a space, but it's not going to be a paid workshop where you get charged money. I'm going to try and, it will just be basically cover the cost of it and get yourself a brew. But I want Jason to meet as much new talent in the industry. I know we have got some incredible actors in this community right now, literally watching this, listening to this on the replay, watching on YouTube. I know there's so many talented people in this group because I watch your content and everything you're putting out online literally all day, every day. And I know there's some people who are not getting breaks, just for no particular reason. You're not doing anything wrong. It's just you need more patience. It just requires you to just be in the game longer. But I want to try and expedite that as fast as possible. And if I can get you to meet people who can give you opportunity, then that's obviously better for everybody, isn't it? So it will be later this year. We've got the social media deep dive workshop that we're running in August. So it's going to be after that, and more like the back end of September, early October. But yeah, if you're a premium member of Ats on This and you I want to reward you for supporting what I do. I'm going to run a workshop with Jason. You'll hear about that in this vlog as well. So it's about 20 minutes long. I'm going to play it for you now. I can still look at all of your comments on Facebook. If you have watched this vlog already, stay with us on Facebook. If you're watching live, watch it again. Write some comments, and because I'll be back after this for a chat as well. We'll still be, what time are we on now? 20:09. This will be it's like 20 minutes to chew the fat. After this, of some other stuff, I've got some other stuff to share with you actually, particularly about that social media deep dive workshop that we're going to be running with Ollie Reynolds, who might still be on this live right now in August. So enjoy this, and I'll be back in 20 minutes ish. All right, see you then.
You know what would be good actually is to at some point maybe just kind of like to see a load of your actors.
Welcome everybody to episode 58 of Watch Ross, the one where, in the words of Adele, we're chasing pavements.
Just keep chasing pavements.
Here we are everybody, in the park, the sun is shining, it's a ridiculously beautiful hot day, and the flags are cracking. But that's not the only, it's terrible isn't it? Not the only tenuous link to the word pavement that I used a minute ago. The reason we are chasing pavements today is because our guest for an exclusive actsonthis.tv podcast that we're going to record in about 10 minutes time is none other than director and filmmaker Jason Wingard, an incredible guy whose latest film is called Pavement. It's a brilliant film around homelessness, stars Steve Everts, lots of people from the actsonthis.tv community actually. Shout out to you, John Bullich, Richard Hand, countless other people. For the last few weeks, the reason I wanted to get Jason on is for the last few weeks I've been recording podcasts with actors who have been creating their own work. I'm hugely bullish on this. I think every actor should be doing their own thing, creating their own work, not waiting for the photo ring, waiting for their agent to do all the work for them. We've had some brilliant guests on recently. Phil Barantini was on talking about his film that he recently made with Stephen Graham. We had Liam Collins on talking about his film My Toughest Battle, all about depression. We had the boys from Underwater on a couple of weeks ago. That's Jay Consol's film. He plays Billy Fletcher in Emmerdale. He's still creating his own work. And I think that's an amazing thing to do. But I've had a lot of actors who have been reaching out and they're like, look, I still don't feel ready to do this. I understand I should be creating my own stuff, but I'm not confident enough to do it. I'm new to the industry. I've not had enough experience yet. I wouldn't know where to start. And they still want to get involved with other people's stuff. Now, Jason is a director who not only doesn't wait for the photo ring himself and creates his own work, but he's a guy who goes out and finds actors to work with. And a lot of actors who are looking for their first break in the industry. I've seen him work with a lot of new actors and do incredible things with them. I met him back in 2011, just after he won Virgin Media Shorts Film Festival for a film that he made called 220. It was just 2 minutes and 20 seconds long, and it cost £100 to produce. He won £30,000 from winning that film festival, so he knows what he's doing. He had a cinema release, Eaten by Lions, a fantastic film that came out in cinemas this April, just gone, 2019. Stars some amazing people: Jack Carroll, Johnny Vegas, Antonio Akil, Asim Chowdhury. Hilarious. Like, you can get it on iTunes now and Amazon. Go watch it, it's amazing. So this guy really knows what he's doing, and his latest film, Pavement, looks like it's going to be another incredible smash. The crowdfunder for Pavement, because this is how he's funding this film right now, is still open for another 12 days as we film this. So we're going to be talking to Jason about how you can support the cause, how he works with actors, how he casts his films, ultimately how you can get involved with future projects, because this guy, telling you, he's going places. So we're going to go back to the apartment. There's going to be sweltering pitch. We're going to stay here for a little bit, get a bit of sunshine. And we're going to set up and hopefully deliver some absolute fire for you guys. I did Google, Petch, what chasing pavements means, by the way, just as you were setting up. Apparently it means hopeless endeavour. I really hope this podcast isn't that. Let's go.
Jason Wingard, welcome back to actsonthis.tv. 8 years after we recorded our first podcast. How are you?
I'm very good. It's good, isn't it? Because, we're both still working.
Yes, we are. I mean, that's a good sign. The site is still existing. It's still in existence. Mate, your work has just gone from strength to strength. Like, I've seen so much over the years. I've kind of lurked in the shadows. We've been Facebook friends probably since we did that last podcast. And I've just kept tabs on everything you're doing. And then 8 years later, I'm like, right, it's time. It's time to get him back on. Those who are listening now, you can't hear the podcast that I did with Jace in 2011, but because it's not on the site anymore, it's not even in the archives. It's a little bit old, but I've got a 60-second clip. Jason, do you want to go back in time?
Well, yeah, let's hear it.
We're going to hear it now. This is interesting. I recorded this podcast with Jason on Skype in 2011. I think you'd just been to get your tea from the chippy. You're eating it, I think, in this clip. I can hear you taking it out of the plastic bag.
Very good. Yeah, what a pro.
But you know what? Like, I love doing this sort of stuff because people are going to be able to see the journey that, like, this whole kind of podcasting thing for me, you know, what I've been on. And I'm all about starting almost before you're ready. So many people, and you'll probably see this all the time as well in your world as a director, they're so afraid of stepping out initially for fear of what other people are going to think of them. Like, oh, I'm not ready yet. I'm not a pro yet. You know, I'm kind of like, what are people going to think of me? They're going to judge me. I'm not good enough. We didn't care back in the day. I'm sure you didn't when you first started filmmaking. And this is us. This is, I think, the very first 60 seconds of the podcast. Let's listen.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm very good. I'm intrigued of how you can turn such a small amount of money into something massive. I mean, firstly, congratulations on your win at Virgin Media Shorts.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell us a little bit about the film that bagged you the grand prize then, and did it really cost you £1.75 to make?
Well, yeah, don't believe everything you read. First of all, no, actually, everybody worked for free.
There's your dinner
on the film, so nobody was getting paid anything. But I did buy refreshments and obviously things like that. So I probably spent about £100 on it, to be honest. But I think the press got hold of that £1.75 thing and thought, okay, we'll run with this angle. And where that came from was that there was a woman who kept walking into shot, and she was starting on the actors and saying, why don't you use real homeless people?
Oh, my word.
And then started on one of the cameramen, and I asked her to move out of shot. And she said, well, give us £1.75 and I'll go. And so I gave her £1.75 and she went, and that's basically it. She got paid more than anyone.
She did.
That was the first we were talking in that. That was like the first minute of that podcast. We were talking about obviously the film that you just won Virgin Media Shorts with, 220, a film that was 2 minutes and 20 seconds long.
That's right. Imaginative title, eh?
So, yeah, but mate, it was super impactful as well. Wasn't it? Tell people, for those who just have no clue what we're talking about, obviously weren't around in 2011 on this site, like, just give them a little synopsis of what that film was about, because it was
it's
packed a punch.
It's about a guy who's outside a shisha bar at 2:20 in the morning, and he gets a text from his girlfriend, and then this woman comes over with a pair of glasses. The glasses she gives him allow him to see how long people have got left to live, and he looks in his reflection, realizes that he's got about 10 seconds left, and then he sees her again and gets run over by the bus that his girlfriend's on. That's the premise of the thing. But it was always about death, you know, kind of like the idea for us on that particular one was to go and make sure that we knew that was just purely visual. There was no dialogue at all.
Yeah.
So for 2 minutes, stuff like that can work, you know, get a bit of intrigue. And yeah, it was a nice little short, and it probably put us in front of people from that there London.
The reason that I kind of, was so keen to get you back on, multiple reasons, but obviously right now you are in the middle of creating this new film, Pavement, which I've seen a lot of online. Eaten by Lions, which was a previous film that you did that got a cinema release early this year and is now available on iTunes. And where else is it? Amazon
and Sky have got it for a year. I think BBC take it after that. So, it's that's great, that's obviously the ultimate dream for everybody.
Because that's massive, and it looks hilarious.
Well, we've been talking about adoption. Good, isn't it, Omar? Thank you.
No, we're just meant to Pete.
I think I'm gonna go find my dad. Gran knew where he was all along, she just never let on.
Where you going then? India?
No. Blackpool.
I feel you're not just here for fun, I feel you've come on a mission. And I think this is going to be a very special moment for you.
I feel guilty that I doubted you.
You mustn't worry. I just Googled Malik Chowdhury, Blackpool.
But what I'm hearing is, where's my dad? Where's my dad? He's not here, is he?
What's up, fam?
So hand it over, nice and slow.
I love you, Gran.
Seen that? Electronic prayer mat. Hey, look, got lights.
I don't want your money.
No, I know, but it's like for you to get some decent clobber, because you look like a freak right now.
Strong, sexy.
Those are my middle names.
Sometimes people say death means change. Today you're alive and well, and that might change.
Which one of you randy little reprobates has deflowered my lotus flower and got my niece up the duff? We haven't.
Did you know about me?
I swear down, I did not know that you even existed. If I did, I would have done the right thing, bro. Moved to Karachi or something.
It's fun.
Me and Petch were watching all the trailers and stuff for it this morning, all the press around it getting the release on Amazon and stuff, and I'm like, oh my god, like how did I not go and see this film? Because the cinema release was how big was that in terms of how many cinemas did it go in?
Well, we had 100 cinemas nationwide, so had a decent rollout.
We had no excuse, Petch. We've just been terrible friends.
No, but it's one of those things that often with independent films, you blink, you miss them, and the release is critical.
Yeah,
and you try to compete with stuff that's got massive marketing budgets. So I think like Shazam was all over the buses at that point,
right? Okay.
So we, this is what we were up against, and we're a tiny little British independent film, and we learned a lot along the way of actually how to do stuff and how to market stuff, and that's much like you've been learning on the podcast along the way, and I've been learning about the short films, and then you get your thing released. That making the film is only half of the battle.
Oh, it is. Oh my god, it so is. Like even on a tiny scale, when we record this podcast and I go and edit it, and we do the vlog alongside it. You can't sit back once you've done it and pat yourself on the back and go, oh, it's, we'll have a fantastic product at the end of it. But like, that's where the work begins. Actually, posting this out on social media, getting it to people, emailing it to everybody, getting eyes on, even on the tiniest scale where I'm looking at 10,000 actors in a community, is like a lot of work. When you've got a cinema release, you're like, right, how, we've got this great film, how I distribute it. I mean, I don't even know where you kind of begin on that.
Well, it's really tough. I mean, and we learned the hard way with the 2 features that we did that, actually the wrong model is to make them and then try and sell them.
Right.
It's a buyer's market. There's lots of films out there and there's lots of reasons for people to say, no, you should have your deal in place for distribution beforehand if need, in the ideal world. But we made them and we've got them out, and I'm going to have a copy in my hand within a week, I guess.
A DVD?
A DVD, yeah.
Nice.
So,
Everyone listening, Eaten by Lions, get on Amazon, stream it, but buy the DVD as well. Support Jason. So let's talk then about, I'm really intrigued to hear all about Pavement. It comes back actually, in that little clip we played before, you mentioned a homeless woman. This is all around homelessness. Steve Evetts is the lead. There's a few people in the Acts on This community who are involved with it. Richard Hand, I've seen, is involved with it. John Bullich.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. Tell us about the story if you're happy to do that. Like, don't give us any spoilers, but what it's about, where the idea came from.
Well, actually, I came up with the idea for a short film competition, which was run in connection with a church called The Pitch. So a few years ago, I entered it for Enter the Pitch. And actually, they came back and have supported us as well further down the line, because I think they always thought it was a good idea. I misjudged that it was actually a pitching competition, though. And I'm not a great pitcher. So let's say the pitch didn't go terribly well. But the idea always stuck with me.
You did something right, yeah.
Well, no, I always thought that the film was a good idea. And the story, it's a really simple story. It's like a modern day parable of a homeless guy who's outside of a bank and they want to move him on. And he's saying, I can't move. And when they pull the sleeping bag back, they see that the pavement's grown over his legs.
Wow.
And so then it's how they treat him. And obviously, the worse he gets treated, the more he sinks into the pavement. And that's it. It's just a really simple metaphor for homelessness.
Yep.
And also how people recover from once they're in those situations. And you'd have to be kind of blind not to have seen the rise in homelessness and how many people are on the streets at the moment. And it's appalling, really. People keep talking about being the 5th richest nation in the world. Why there's that many homeless people there? Can't all be for one reason or another.
Yeah.
So there's certain things that need to be done about it. But rather than make a film that preaches about that. I thought I'd present it in a different way, an entertaining way, and then let people reflect, which I think is always a better way of doing it.
You are one guy who I see probably more than anybody in this industry, particularly, as I say, I've stalked you on Facebook for many years, who is so open to getting actors, particularly who are quite new to the industry, involved in projects.
Well, it's interesting. A lot of the people that came back, not just on the cast side, but on crew as well, who'd come back and said, I'll do something for you because you gave me my first break. And
Right.
And so you build a loyalty, don't you, with people and a relationship with them. And so now it's quite easy, really. If I want to go and make something, I've got hundreds of people that I can call on.
I see the minute you put a Facebook post out going, guys, I need 2 people for this weekend, like you'll just get like dozens and dozens and dozens of comments going, I'm free, mate.
Yeah, there's people who want to do stuff. But it's interesting because on this one, we were talking earlier, weren't we, about we've got a little bit of a budget, but not enough. We're trying to make like a 60, 70 grand short, essentially, on 15, 20 grand.
Right.
So what it meant was that we could pay our lead actors and the actors that were coming in, but we couldn't pay the crew. And my thinking on it was that I can get the crew back in to pay them on a different job further down the line. I'll have some paid work and I can bring them in.
And this is on pavement?
Yeah, this is on pavement. But, with the actors, you're not going to, how often do your casting type might come up once, twice, you know what I mean, in 10 years or something. Yeah. So you can't guarantee the actors that. So, we made sure that we paid the actors. Which is a nice situation to be in.
It's almost the other way around in most films. It's like, right, we can pay all the crew because we need to pay for kit and equipment and all that sort of stuff, but actors, you have to work for free and your pay is the footage.
As far as kind of like creating your own work goes, I think that, yes, there is an increasing, basically the technology is making it that way.
Absolutely. Levels the playing field on it a bit.
Yeah, definitely. So people can just go out and make their own thing. But and I always used to think and kind of think about actors and think, God, they've got to wait for the phone to ring, really. And that's a frustrating situation to be in for lots of people. So lots of people are doing one-man shows or various other things, or venturing out into blogs and podcasts and doing short films, which is great. Which is fantastic. Because I think that by doing that, you're being proactive and you're going to meet lots of different people in the industry and you create opportunities for yourself. Essentially, you'd be networking without knowing that you're networking.
That's honestly, when I do a live broadcast every Monday night on Facebook now, and I was just talking last night. An actress put a question to me, and she said, "Listen, where else can I find opportunities that aren't on?" She's just starting off, so she's using sites like Mandy.com and Star Now, these sites that you can apply for castings when you're just starting off in the industry. It's not like Spotlight where you need to have a certain amount of credits to get on Spotlight and that sort of stuff. So they're much more open. And she was like, where else can I get opportunities? And I was like, well, it depends what you class in as an opportunity, because for me, all of my opportunities and what I see as opportunities are very much these relationships, in terms of I feel that life and any success within it is all predicated on relationships, and your success in any area of your life is. And that's certainly, it's certainly been my experience in my own acting career. So, doing this, you do obviously meet people, you become friends with people, that brings up opportunities. But just in terms of meeting people in the industry, it's been easier than ever now because of social media. People slate social media as a thing like, oh, it's terrible, it's affecting everybody's mental health. For me, it's an incredible tool for, getting your work out there, showing it, meeting people. The amount of people I've had on podcasts who I've reached out to on Twitter and direct messaged them, and they've said, yeah, and I would never have got through to them if I had to go through their agent.
Yeah, I mean, I get messages all the time with people that I end up working with, I'll check their work out, and I'll check, actors as well as composers and DPs and loads of different things. So, it's great. And also that reach immediately is amazing, isn't it, on social media?
Absolutely.
Of course, you've got to put with the other stuff as well, but that's kind of part and parcel.
In terms of people who do want to work with you, and I know, we've said it's best to kind of go through I'm knocking the mic over. Go through casting directors, reach out to those.
It is, but you know what? If someone sends me a message, I always reply.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I mean. I see you doing this all the time. Just what advice would you have for people who are like, how they can help you? Maybe, you kind of, like you said, you aren't going to be making anything that's got a part ready for them, but how else can people, help you and just ultimately, become part of the team, I guess?
I think send stuff through. Send your stuff. You need to get on people's radar, don't they?
Definitely.
You know what would be good actually is to at some point maybe just kind of like to see a load of your actors, just to kind of just run. I mean, we used to do this. Me and a friend of mine called Gino Evans, who started.
Well, Gino was the guy who did 220 with, wasn't he? Did he?
No, Gino did Bus Baby with me.
Oh, did he?
So yeah, but
Oh,
Gino's
okay.
actually he's out directing again. I think
Right.
he's not going to be. So. Yeah, and we used to regularly just go and see people. We haven't got anything in mind, but we're seeing something. So maybe I might start setting up some just auditions so I can just get people on my
let's
radar.
do it. I mean, I do a monthly meetup first Saturday of every month at Home Theatre. And I know the guys at home really well. I'm sure they give us a space if you wanted to run some
Well,
kind
maybe
of
you should do that with
workshop.
maybe 2 or 3 directors. Just do director workshops, and we can see. It's build the bridge.
Exactly. I am the bridge. There you go, everybody. You've just seen a couple of clips from the what is like an epic podcast once again with Jason Wingard. Not done a podcast since 2011. How was that for you? All right?
Yeah, it was great. And it's nice to see you in the flesh this time.
Yeah, we're not just doing this on Skype. If you want to get access to the full podcast, get yourself over to atsonthis.tv right now. Grab your membership. You'll get access to literally dozens of other podcasts, videos, live broadcasts, weekly training with some incredible minds in the acting industry. There was just a couple of points I want to expand on there, Jace, exclusively for the vlog. This isn't in the podcast. You were talking in the podcast, though, about an actress recently who will remain nameless. We won't give anything away. Who had massively changed your opinion of her as an actress in terms of going from who you would think was maybe a supporting role kind of actress to, wow, this person is ready to kind of take off and proper lead material. There's going to be a lot of actors who are watching this who feel that maybe there's directors like you or casting directors out there who haven't had that opportunity to show maybe their full ability. Maybe this actress always had this within her, but she just not had the opportunity to show it. So, do you want to just expand on that? And, maybe, we can kind of inspire people to get out there and show that side of themselves, be vulnerable if they've not done it yet in the industry.
Yeah, I think that we were just discussing there. I think that often actors will go into castings and feel that they come out and feel that that director's not seen me yet. They don't know what I can do. And I suppose, I got to see this from a showcase, a one-person show, which is designed, I suppose, to show everything that you can do. And actually, I went to see 2 of these. I went to see one in Edinburgh as well recently with an actress, and hers was very similar. So I already knew her range of what she can do by seeing her one-woman show. So when she came up in a casting recently and somebody quizzed me and said, is she right for it? I was like, I've got every confidence that she can do this. I'm not worried at all. And sometimes because you've only got a short space of time in a casting, it's very, very difficult, isn't it? And so you've got the director who's got an opinion if they've seen you already. You've got a casting agent who's already putting you up for certain things, and already things are starting to get narrowed. And so it's really difficult, isn't it, to just kind of in that short space of time to kind of to show everything. Having said that, the really good actors can do that, but it could be a learning curve. So I'm not quite sure on how you achieve it. A showcase specifically for you is a great thing to do. I think that's a great thing, thing that people should be trying to do. But other than that, I'm not sure how you achieve it. But for certain, it is this performer's vulnerability that I saw, which made me think, wow, there's such a bigger range for this person than I previously thought.
Yeah, no, I agree. I know from my own experience, there's been times where, in my earlier years, I'm not that old now, but in my earlier 20s, I was guarded about certain things in my life, and I think that came into performances, and I wasn't vulnerable, and I wasn't able to kind of show those flaws that I have as a human being in my performances and stuff. And I think vulnerability, again, I'll emphasize it, is really, really powerful. I think vulnerability is one of the most powerful attributes we can have as human beings, because then people begin to relate.
From a director's point of view, you've got a very limited amount of time, and we talked briefly on the podcast about it, about having a note, having to hit it, because things are pressured on set. And I always say with directors in particular, if you've got a project, let's say for pavement, for example, this is something that I've spent 8 years with, thinking about, going through it in my mind. For everybody else who comes in, they're in and they go off to another job. Or an actor, they come in, they do it, then they go off to another job. For me, I've got to, this is something that I've been thinking about, ruminating, for a long, long time. So it's vital that you get, or even those smaller roles, right?
Yep, definitely. No, honestly, to wrap up, I just think anybody who's watching, I know there's going to be at least one person watching right now who has been held back by something burdening them within themselves, something that they've never shown the world, and it could be the unlock to something hugely within their performance as an actor, and it could just be that thing that if they show and they're brave enough and can get the courage to show a director like yourself, casting director, put stuff out, make your own work, whack it out on social media, it could ultimately be the thing that has happened to that actress that you said, puts her in a completely different league. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Like I say, get over to the main website and check out the full podcast. It's another cracker. Social media is up on screen right now. As this vlog goes out, there'll be a few days left of Jason's crowdfunder on Indiegogo for Pavement. Please, if you can spare even a couple of quid, get on there, support the cause. Eaten by Lions as well. Jason's other film has just come out on DVD. It's out on Amazon, iTunes. Stream it, support the cause again. And get out there and be vulnerable. We'll be back. With another vlog sometime next week, I imagine. Petch, we're putting out a lot of bloody content at the moment, Jason. Telling you that. Any final message before we sign off?
Yeah, there's just a final message, which was kind of really for, we were talking about casting agents, and there's lots of different people who are influencers, and that they're going to be influenced, and so people will talk to me, often casting directors, they won't say it, but they'll kind of talk to me about a certain performer, and they'll have an opinion, but I always shut that out. I always have my own opinion, but it's just to know that you're always on, basically, your relationship with the casting director all the way through to the director. Anybody can be an influencer. Yep. So just be aware of that, really, I suppose, and enjoy yourself.
Definitely enjoy yourself, be vulnerable, and bloody enjoy yourself. Jason, we do a little countdown, a little 3, 2, 1, and my catchphrase is bye for now. So I'm going to ask you in 3, 2, 1 to look at the camera, and we're both going to shout bye for now. It's ridiculous. That's what we do. Right. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time in 3, 2, 1. Bye for now. Thank you so much for watching this episode. It really would mean the world to me if you would leave a comment telling me what you enjoyed and what you would like to see more of next time. If you want to catch more episodes, head over to facebook.com/WatchRoss or youtube.com/WatchRoss. Make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on. I'll be back real soon. Bye for now. It's one more car, then I'm going to go. 2 more cars, then I'm going to go. Here we go, you ready? There you go, a little bit of behind the scenes little action there about how we actually film the vlog. Interesting, or what? Very interesting stuff Jason covers in that podcast. You just listened to less than 20 minutes of what was a 90-minute interview with him. If you go to atsonthis.tv, you will see it right there in the on the section of the site in the Watch News section. You can listen if you're not a member of the site. There, hit that blue play button. You can listen to a 15-minute preview. But there's still, ultimately, there's just so much gold in the 90-minute version. A lot of people have been leaving comments in the comments on Facebook. They're actually saying they listened to it this morning. So glad that they did. Jason's just a really humble, nice guy who's doing incredible things, and he's just still super down to earth and super approachable. When he said about reaching out to social media, really means that. Do let him know that you watched the vlog. If you've listened to the full podcast, do let him know. It's at JMG Media on Twitter. It's at Jason_Wingard on Instagram. I'm just going to go to the comments, see what's going on. Fiona says, the visual of the man and his dog sinking into the ground is dark and profound. Yeah, the poster for Pavement looks awesome, doesn't it? Really interesting concept. So simple, though, isn't it? So simple.
Ruben says, "Is it finished?" That's finished, but I'm back on camera now, Ruben. Hopefully you can see me. Great advice. Enjoy the whole podcast. Yeah, Linda, you listened to the whole podcast this morning. I saw you comment on that. Thanks for that. Ollie's here as well. Ollie said that he'd audition for Pavement as a Polish security guard, but he's not got the Polish accent down. Don't worry, Ollie. It's just good to meet, innit? It's good to meet people like that, regardless whether you get the part or not. And yeah, for those members, you have to be. I can't do this for everybody. You will have to be a member of ActsOnThis.tv to get on this workshop. I'm going to probably end up having to run multiple workshops with Jason because there's going to be far more people than we can fit. I think Patrick said the first one, obviously, me and Jason are both based in Manchester. We'll be up here at Home Theatre. Patrick said, will there be an opportunity to do one in London? I have no idea, Patrick. Something that I'd game for it. It's going to be something down to Jason, though. Busy guy. Don't know whether he'd have time for that. But well worth the... Brendan said a return flight with Flybe from London to Manchester. He's been getting it for 56 quid. It would probably be cheaper for you to do that than for us to find a venue, because we'd have to charge more for that in London, obviously. So I don't want to profit from these workshops at all. This is for the one with Jason. It's just a favour to you guys, just to try and get you guys a break. Will there be a Chicago workshop? Says Tony Rossi. Hey, Tony, you know what, mate? If you want to pay for mine and Jason's plane fare, I would love to do a Chicago workshop, my man. I would be all over that. Definitely. Ina says Jason Wingard's genuine kindness and humanity are striking. Honestly, such a good guy. Really, really mean that. Definitely worth the travel to Manchester for sure, says Georgia. Yeah, absolutely. So go listen to the full podcast. You will learn a lot, particularly, if you want to beam film and if you want to get involved with filmmakers, and if you want to create your own film. You're going to learn a lot, and just go and get the DVD for Eaten by Lions or stream it on iTunes or Amazon because it's bloody hilarious. Such a good film. One other thing I want to talk to you guys about tonight is something I've been talking about for the last few weeks, and that is the social media. We've got a name for it, the social media workshop that me and Ollie Reynolds, we're going to be running in August. There's about 130 people on the waiting list so far. This is now not just a workshop. We developed what is an incredible product over the last few days. I'm going to be sending an email out with full details of everything you get if you want to commit to what we're now coining the social media deep dive live. Okay, I'm going to give you a little peek, actually. Wait a second, I have to do this secretively. I've been creating a page on ActsOnThis.tv that tells you all about it. Tickets for this are going to go on sale on Wednesday. If you're on the waiting list, only those on the waiting list will get an email tomorrow with full details of what this actually is. I can go through it a little bit now. And then on Wednesday, those on the waiting list will get a priority email to book a place. Let me see if I can share this with you. It is way more than what we thought it was going to be because I just want to deliver. I don't do workshops, basically. I know loads of people in the industry do workshops. I don't like workshops a lot of the time. I think there's a lot of actors think workshops are auditions. They'll go to meet a casting director, which is fair enough. You know what? When you're starting out, or you want to meet somebody you've not met before. But I don't think there's massive value in them. They're about 65 quid, 70 quid. You go there, they're 3 hours long, that's it. 3 measly hours, 75 quid, 3 hours, I don't think that's incredible value. And what you normally do as an actor is you get a scene in advance, don't you? You rehearse it. You then go to the workshop. You maybe get to rehearse it again for 15 minutes. You perform it twice. So your performance time is roughly 6 minutes. You do the scene once, 3 minutes, get a note off the casting director, do it again, 3 minutes. So that's 6 minutes of value you've had from that workshop. And then what you do is you then sit there and you listen, and watch everybody else do theirs. And that's it. And I think there's value in watching other people. There certainly is value in watching other people, for a bit, but not for 2.5 hours. Or maybe you'll get to ask 10 minutes of Q&A at the end. I think there's better ways to do it. That's why I make these podcasts for Acts on This. I'm like, look, let's just give you 90 minutes of pure actionable content that you can go and actually move the needle in your career with. This is going to be very different, right? So we're coining this, the Acts on This TV social media deep dive live, right? And this is ultimately a 3-part workshop. It says there, this is a must-attend event if you don't yet have a social media strategy which is helping build a personal brand or enhancing your reputation within the acting industry. It's a must-attend event if you want to get fully up to speed on what's working right now, instead of second-guessing whether or not the strategies you've been trying, are actually ever going to work. It's great if you've been trying to build your social media presence for months or years, but haven't gained any serious traction that inspires you. That's the key. Traction that inspires you to keep going. And it's also great if you're feeling stuck and you know that having a social media strategy will not only boost your reputation, but will also boost your ability to make the kind of money you know you're capable of making. And ultimately, that's what it comes down to. You want to get paid for your work. Now, that's often not going to happen. Like Jason said in the podcast, he paid his actors over his crew so many times, and it the other way around, where you end up getting all the actors work for free and the crew get paid. So what this actually is, this is a 3-stage deep dive, right? We're going to do a 2-hour pre-training. It's going to be online, where everybody joins a group coaching session live online. Do you know what? I say 2 hours with me and Ollie. We can talk forever. It's probably going to be longer. That's what you're going to get, first of all, the pre-briefing. Then we're holding a full 10-hour, sack you 3-hour workshops. We're doing a 10-hour intensive, full day in-person deep dive that's going to include a load of one-to-one coaching with the 20 people who are going to be involved with this. We can only take 20 people at a time. And this is going to be at an awesome place called Social 7 in Media City, UK. Can't think of a nicer, better venue to talk social media than Social 7 in Media City. An incredible place for doing social media, for creating imagery, ultimately smack bang in the middle of Media City. Fantastic deep dive. Then we're going to have a third session, which will be an online implementation 7 days later, which will probably be another 2 or 3 hours. So ultimately, this is 16 hours of coaching. It's not 3 hours, and well, ultimately translates into 18 minutes of value when you go to a normal workshop. You're going to learn how to use the biggest platforms to grow your audience and your opportunity within the acting industry. So we're going to be looking at Facebook. There's going to be a whole Facebook training. There's going to be a Twitter training, and there's going to be an Instagram training. Then what we're going to do is we're going to deep dive into you, ultimately, your strategy. We're going to sit around a big table. Everybody's going to be sharing like where they're at, ultimately what is going on in your career right now, what isn't, whether you've got any projects you want to be promoting. And everybody, this is where it is genuinely useful to learn from other people, because there's going to be things that you hold in common with other people, and there's going to be things that right now you don't, but in the future you will. So maybe there's going to be somebody there who is looking to promote a short film on social media. You might be making a short film. It's not ready to promote yet. You're still going to get massive value from that though. And there's going to be an exclusive Facebook group for everybody who comes on this program, where you're going to get basically continuing accountability forever. And also, we can create an engagement group within that where we will support each other's social media posts so that they get more engagement. Everybody will be retweeting everybody's posts. They'll be sharing them on Instagram. It's going to be incredible, basically. I'm so excited about this. It's going to be the most valuable social media workshop I just think that's ever been created for actors. There's a bit about me and Ollie, about the as instructors. There's the venue, Social Media 7, where it's at. And we'll be releasing details of everything to do with how you book, pricing, and everything tomorrow. We're just finalising details ultimately on what the venue is going to cost. I've pretty much confirmed it with Social 7 today. We're just ironing out like what refreshments and stuff we have. Basically, want to make it so that on the day you barely need to have any other expenses. So I think we're going to get like tea, coffee, juice, water, and little pastries and stuff basically on tap all day. So if you want to stuff your face with free pastries for 10 hours, you can do that. But it'll be an incredibly high-end workshop. This isn't like, a workshop in the back room of a pub or maybe just a space in some meeting room somewhere. I want to make this like as premium an experience as possible. So it will have a premium price tag. Certainly I don't want anyone getting a shock tomorrow. Like, oh my God, this is so expensive. It is going to be expensive, but effectively it's 16 hours of training with one guy, Ollie, who's been running a social media marketing agency for a decade. And I've been in this industry 21 years. So you're gaining from 31 years worth of experience on how to build and use social media. And there is a lot of people. It's all I've done for the last 8 years. Ultimately, the reason you are here now is because you're on social media. You maybe got an email from me. You saw a tweet. You saw a Facebook post. You've joined the community. You've watched my vlogs. You've listened to podcasts. It's what I do all day, every day. So I can share an awful lot of value with you guys to expedite where you are at ultimately, and just explain, again, from the mistakes I've made, explain how not to make those mistakes so you don't spend 8 years figuring it out. Ollie is a master. Ollie has helped me grow Acts on this, like I've said before. I've had 8 years worth of growth in the last 2 months. We have doubled the membership for ActsOnThis.tv in the last 2 months. I ran with it for 8 years, got it to a point. Ollie has helped me double that within 8 weeks. And that's no bullshit. Those who come on this program, I will show you behind the scenes of ActsOnThis.tv as well. What happens in that room stays in that room. It's very confidential information. You shouldn't share that with anybody. This is for those people who attend this to keep and share amongst yourselves. But I'm going to pull the curtain back on everything that I'm doing. And that's what's valuable, is we're giving you the strategies that are working now. What you find a lot of people in the industry do, the bullshitters, is they use something till it stops working. They discover what the next thing is, and then they create a course on the old thing. And it's like they're selling it using like, this is how you do it. It's like whilst they're using something else. This is stuff where, you know, Ollie is teaching me. I'm going to be learning on this workshop as well. I'll probably end up selling myself a ticket. Ollie is the guy who's teaching me this stuff. There's certain things I bring to the table that Ollie doesn't know about in the acting industry and how it applies. But this guy, like, will really open your eyes to some very simple hacks, tricks, tactics that are authentic, that aren't cheating, nothing like that. This is all about authenticity. We're not creating the next Love Island, star on social media where it's all about the following. This is about creating deep engagement with your audience, an audience that actually give a shit about what you're posting. It's great having 1 million followers. If none of them care, what's the point? You are better in the acting industry to have 5,000 people who care about what you are doing than 5 million who don't. I mean, that's just it. Don't get twisted on numbers. And this is why I'm very excited, because Instagram are probably going to remove follower counts and like counts on posts. So people will no longer not post something for fear of only getting 10 likes. No one's going to be able to see likes for much longer. No one's going to be able to see followings for much longer. So people are going to then be judged off the quality of the content they put out. It's brilliant. It just means we can forget about all the insecurity. For those who want to get on the waiting list, it's actonthis.tv/social masterclass. Anyone who gets on that list before probably 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, it depends. I've got this casting in the morning, so it depends if I can get that email out in the morning. I might try and plan it now. Sometime tomorrow, you know what, just sometime tomorrow. But if you get on the list tonight, sometime tomorrow, I will be sending an email out with full details of a breakdown of everything you get and the cost. And then on Wednesday morning at about 10 a.m., the tickets will go on sale. It's going to be first come, first serve. The first 20 places go. But we will run multiple ones of these if we need to. Like I said, there's about 132 people on the waiting list right now. I don't think every one of them this is going to be for every one of them. It just isn't. Not everyone's going to take a place. But maybe, initially 30, 40 people want to do this. If so, we will run another one very quickly off the back of this. So please don't be disheartened if you don't get in initially. I want to make it as fair as possible. I care so much about every single one of you. I really mean that. I don't want anyone to feel left out. And we will, we'll do our best to just look after absolutely everybody. So let's have a look. What are people saying here? How do we get on the waiting list, says Alma? So actonthis.tv/social masterclass. You'll be able to get on. You'll be able to get on that. Ollie says 3-course meals. There's no 3-course meals, unfortunately, mate. But we'll be getting. Andrew says is the Costa coffee. It's going to be Social 7's premium coffee, whatever that is. They do one of the best lattes in Media City, though. Has anyone been at Social 7 on here? It's such a gorgeous location. It's why it's super premium. It's the nicest environment in Media City. It's based in the White Tower. It's on the 7th floor. It's very private. We're going to have a private room, fully AV capable. So we're going to be plugging our laptops and our phones into a massive screen on the wall. Going to be teaching you guys what to post, how to post it, how to really pimp out your profiles, maximize the impact of everything you're posting. And then we're going to be getting people. This is not for passive learning. We're going to be getting people out into the heart of Media City, and we're going to make you produce some content on the day, push you out your comfort zone, to show you ultimately how in control you are. And there's going to be so many people like, oh God, I've never posted a live video before, or I've never done this before. I'm going to make you do it. And you're going to realize that actually it's all right. You have permission. You don't need anybody else's permission in this industry to do that. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you guys something on this workshop as well. I was working quite late on Saturday evening. And I must admit, over the years, when I first started off ActsOnThis.tv, I'll hold my hand up. I also had all of those, that nervousness and those insecurities around creating content for the acting industry for fear of what casting directors, agents, my agent, other people's agents, directors, all the people in the industry might think of me like, who's this shit? Like, you know, who does he think he is creating this sort of stuff? And I'm certainly not one to be like any kind of guru or something. All I do, I look at myself, like Alex said in here, like as a bridge, and I use that term a lot, the bridge between people in the industry and you. So I just curate content. I don't ever profess to have it all figured out, because I don't, you know, I've got so much further to go in my career. But yeah, I was always, still a bit insecure, you know, of putting stuff out. I was, you know, for the first 6-7 years. It's been the last 12 months where I've been like, I just feel so confident with the stuff I'm putting out and the names that I'm getting on, and I feel that actually this has got so much kudos now. And I was working quite late on Saturday, and this email came through, and I won't say who it was, but this is one of the biggest casting directors. This is somebody in the top 3 casting directors in TV in this country, and an email came through for a receipt for 90 quid. And this person, who I respect so much, had bought a yearly premium membership to actsonthis.tv. And I was like, wow. Like, God, the thought of that 8 years ago, I would never thought that would happen. You know, someone with such kudos in this industry is actually not just, you know, he could have hit me up for a free membership, because he's been a guest on the site quite a few years ago, but he's been a guest on the site, cast some of the biggest stuff in TV. Yet put his money where his mouth is and went, I'm going to support the cause. Sent me a lovely email going, mate, like, I just checked out what you're doing, not looked at it for a while, really respects it, and I've joined. And I'm like, wow, like that just for me was like full circle. So you might be in a place where you're like, I don't want to put something out there for fear of what someone might think of me. Please just put it out. Don't listen to that insecurity inside you. If your intention is pure and you're putting it out for good reasons, you know, please put it out. And that's what we're going to be, you know, ultimately teaching people as well, about the mindset behind social media as well. Is it too late to go on the waiting list? No, Andrew, absolutely not, mate. Go on it. actonthis.tv/social masterclass. Anne-Marie Hughes in the house. All right, Anne-Marie, hope you're good. Mel Radloff's here as well. Thank you, Mel Radloff, for all of the work you do for the London lot on Acts on This. The Acts on This TV meetup in London and Manchester is this coming Saturday. First Saturday of every month we do it. I host the one in Manchester at Home Theatre, 11 till 2. Mel and Wendy host the one in London, Benugo Bar, BFI South Bank, 11 till 2. So thank you, Mel, and please, if you've not been to a meetup, get yourself down. Ollie's now on the waiting list. Sharon's saying good night. Sharon, thanks for being here. Joe's been to an after-show party, and I'm sure Emma Stafford ran a casting there too. Oh, right, cool, awesome. Been to after-show party. Oh, after-show party there. Where, at home or down in London? Probably home. Emma does do stuff there. Tony says, loves the story of the CD paying for membership. I couldn't believe it, Tony, honestly. I was like, wow, if you'd have just asked, you could have had this for free. But he's like, no, I just want to support like what you're doing. So it's cool. So that's it. I'm in London at the moment. Got here today, says Fiona. Nice one, Fiona. Well, Saturday, if you're around, get yourself down, see Mel and Wendy at BFI South Bank, Benugo Bar, 11 a.m. Wendy might bake cakes. She normally does, and she's very, very good. So I hope it's been useful for you guys. Like I say, keep an eye out on your email for the social media workshop. If you listen on the replay, that might be too late, but go to... I can't even tell you where to go to yet because the page isn't set up. Go to actsonthis.tv/social masterclass and just get on the waiting list. If you're listening to this on the replay, we'll keep everyone on that waiting list in the loop. If I can do anything for you, let me know. You know, sorry for it being a bit down at the start of this podcast, start of this broadcast. But yeah, the stuff I was talking about, just about mortality and stuff today, just keep that in mind, man. Life is short. Too short to be saying no to yourself and not really doing what you want to be doing. Get out there, you know, make something happen, you know, do something great. I'm going to be trying to end this broadcast now. So as always, I've got to close the window down and try and get into Facebook's content library that makes it incredibly difficult for you to end broadcasts. So please don't go. Stay with me for a second so I don't feel completely alone. There it is. Should be able to end this relatively elegantly, I think. If I can do anything for anybody, tweet me at @ActsOnThisTV, at Ross A. Grant. Hit me up. Let me know what you need. You can always post in the Facebook group, or if you are a member of actonthis.tv, don't forget to go and listen to Jason's podcast. And there's a private community on there. If you want any help, please tag me in a post on there. I'll get an email notification and I will jump in as soon as I can. So thank you, guys. Really appreciate you. Until next time, I will say for tonight, bye for now.